Becoming involved with student groups on campus, or even starting your own, is a way in which many students make campus seem smaller and less intimidating. The university boasts over 700 recognized student organizations. These groups help students of similar interests come together for both social and political purposes.
The Council of Commonwealth Student Governments is an organization that acts as a liaison advisory board to the 19 Commonwealth locations of Penn State and their student governments. And what my job, or my role is to act as the executive coordinator. The role of president is really just to give me status at Board of Trustees meetings and things of that nature. And my job is just to make sure that their concerns are being heard by the administration at University Park. So we meet 6 times a year to sit down and kind of have an open forum, best practices type of meeting with committees and breakouts specific to their nature. And we work on things like lobbying for higher state appropriations, better advising programs, more curriculum integrity, as in making sure that the classes at New Kensington and Fayette and McKeesport and Abington are all the same, so that when you graduate from Penn State, it's the same degree, same education, same purpose. So we go from student affairs to academics to governmental relations to thon. So we do a long gamut of things.
I was involved with Silver Circle, the pagan organization. And then over the last summer, my roommate and I founded the Harry Potter Club. And the best way to make friends is honestly to join clubs, because then you get to meet people who you know you have common ground with, whereas opposed to just kind of walking around and going, hey, you want to be my friend?
As students, we have the power to demand. We have the power to seek change if we're not comfortable with these situations. And we have the power to see that results are brought to us. You know, when they demand everything out of us, they demand that our payments be on time, they demand that we have, things in order by certain, things as far as academics in order at a certain time. They demand that if we don't have payment, then they demand us off campus and out of our rooms, and things like that. And we pay for the school. We make the school what it is. So why can't students, demand things out of the university when it's, when we're talking about student rights here?
I think it was clear to lots of us, including our students, that we had one of the largest Greek systems in the country, but clearly at the time it was not one of the best. And at Penn State, we like to be the best. So we have been working very hard by bringing stakeholders together, alumni, students, leaders, community members, my staff. Excuse me, the leadership of the university is working really hard to find a way to make our Greek system better. And we're doing that by focusing on the positive, of reminding ourselves what it is we look like when we're at our best, and doing more of that. So I think the Greek community has been a very important first agenda item for us to address shortly after I arrived.
One of the biggest things in 2004-2005 was the presidential election. And usually college students have been known to be apathetic the last 10-20 years, but this was the first election since the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attacks, and the first election since 2000, which was the closest race in election history. So this year, students were not apathetic, and students really came out to the polls, and you could see activism everywhere on campus, whether you were Republican, Democrat, whether you were for Bush, or whether you were for Kerry. So it was really nice to see that, and that was a pretty big story this year, and something that I think everyone got interested in. Even people who are typically not into politics at all were really interested in the election and what was happening. You would see students with pins on their bags. You'd see, rallies and protests occasionally in Old Main. So it was really an interesting time.